Welcome to BuildBytesDaily. So if you're a React developer, you know the drill with memoization, right? It's a love-hate thing. Well, get ready because the new React compiler is an absolute game changer. In this first part of our series, we're going to break down what it is, why it's such a big deal, and yeah, how you can start using it like today. Let's do this.
The code on the left. It looks familiar, doesn't it? That tangled web of React memo, use callback. It's what we do for performance, but man, it's a headache of boilerplate and potential bugs. Now, look at the code on the right. Just clean, simple, plain JavaScript. That's the dream, isn't it? Well, what if I told you that you don't have to choose anymore?
Well, that's exactly the promise of the new React compiler. And no, it's not magic. It's just really, really smart automation. Think of it as a tool that lets you write beautiful, readable code while it does all the heavy lifting of optimization behind the scenes. This means you get to focus on building features, not on juggling dependency arrays.
Okay, so here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to dig into what the compiler actually is. Then, we'll get our hands dirty with installation and setup. After that, and this is important, we'll show you how to verify it's even working. We'll wrap up with some quick tips and then talk about what's next. All right, let's dive into our first section. What is this thing really? So let's get this straight. The React compiler is a build time tool. That's a key detail. It's not a runtime library. This means it works its magic when you're building your app, not while it's running in the user's browser. It analyzes your code and injects optimizations automatically. And the best part? It's been designed to understand the rules of React, so it just works with the code you're already writing. So how does it actually make your app faster? Well, its main job is to prevent unnecessary re-renders. You know how when a parent's state changes, sometimes a whole bunch of children re-render for no reason? The compiler is smart enough to see that and just skips them. It also automatically wraps expensive calculations in memoization for you. The bottom line is you get to delete a ton of manual hooks, and get this, it can even fix subtle bugs that your own manual memoization might have missed. Okay, theory is great, but let's actually make this happen. In this next part, we're going to walk through just how simple it is to add the React compiler to your project. First up, a quick prerequisite check. You might be thinking this is only for the shiny new React 19, but nope, the team did us a huge solid and made sure it's also compatible with React 17 and 18. This is awesome because it means most of us can start playing with it right now. Step 1, let's grab the package. It is a Babel plugin, so we're going to install it as a dev dependency. Just pick your favorite package manager, npm, yarn, pnpm. The command you need is right there on the screen. Okay, everybody listen up. This is the golden rule. If you forget everything else, remember this. The React compiler plugin absolutely must be the very first plugin in your Babel setup. Why? Because it needs to see your raw, original code to do its analysis properly. If other tools change your code first, the compiler can get confused and won't be able to do its job. So if you're using a standard Babel setup, here's all you have to do. Pop open your babel.config.js, find that plugins array, and just put Babel plugin React compiler right at the very beginning. That's it, seriously. And for all you Vite users out there, I know there are a ton of you, it's just as easy. You'll head into your Vite.config.js, find the React plugin, and pass it a little configuration object. Inside that object, you'll add a Babel key with your plugins array and pop the compiler in there. Now, what if you're not using Vite or a plain Babel setup? No worries. The ecosystem support is already fantastic. Next.js, Webpack, Metro for you React Native folks, it's all covered. We're not going to walk through every single one, but the official React docs have really clear guides for each tool. So you've installed it, you've configured it, but the big question is, how do you know if it's actually, working? Let's talk about how to verify your setup. You basically have two great ways to check. The first one is super easy and visual, just using the React dev tools. The second way is for those of us who need to see the proof in the code itself, and that involves looking at your build output. This is my favorite part. It's so simple. The React team gave us a little visual cue. Just open up your React dev tools, look at your component tree, and you should see a little sparkle emoji next to any component that's been optimized. If you see the sparkles, you're golden. Now, if you're the type that needs to see it to believe it, you can pop open your final build files. If you do a search for React/compiler runtime, you'll find it. That's the actual code the compiler injected to make the magic happen. That's your hard evidence right there. All right, before we wrap up this introduction, I've got a couple of quick tips that are going to be super useful from day one. We'll cover how to opt out when you need to and how to use your linter to your advantage.
Okay, what happens if the compiler is being a little too aggressive and causing a weird bug in one specific component? Don't panic. You have an escape hatch. Just add this simple string, use no memo, at the very top of your function. It's a signal to the compiler to just skip this one component. Think of it as a temporary fix while you troubleshoot.
Okay, this is a big one. The compiler is powerful, but it relies on your code following the rules of React. The absolute best way to make sure you're doing that is to use the EastLint plugin React Hooks package. It will flag violations, but even more importantly, it will tell you why the compiler had to give up on optimizing a certain component. That feedback is absolutely invaluable.
So we've covered the what, the why, and the how of getting started with the React compiler. Let's bring this all home and talk about where we go from here. If you take one thing away today, let it be this. The React compiler isn't just about performance. It's a tool for a better developer experience. It automates one of the most tedious, error-prone parts of writing React, and that frees up your brainpower to focus on what actually matters, building great things for your users.
So, after seeing how easy this is to set up and the massive payoff you get, the real question is, are you ready to give it a shot? Are you ready to start deleting all that old memoization boilerplate from your app?
And hey, we're just getting started. In part 2 of this series, we're going to go even deeper into more advanced topics, like how you can adopt this incrementally in a huge codebase. You're not going to want to miss that. Thanks for watching Build Bytes Daily. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button and definitely subscribe so you don't miss part 2. See you in the next one.